So most of the student body here at VHS spends a lot of their time at the Learning Commons, but have you ever thought about the journey and the transformation of the place?
The seniors know how much the Learning Commons has changed over the 4 years, so let's find out more about the transformation.
Well, when I first came, it was more like a library. There was stacks of books and some tables. We had some computers around the back, but since we've gotten the Chromebooks, I think it's more flexible seating. You can sit anywhere and wireless with the computers. And the stacks around the outside kind of opened up the space a lot.
Well, the Learning Commons here, there's food, more places to sit. You can interact with people more. You can actually take out computers other than desktops at HB.
So you like it better?
Yeah, a lot better.
Alright, thanks.
There's couches, there's a cafe, and you can take Chromebooks out whenever you want.
So this is Alex Joy. She's a senior. So what do you think, do you remember the transformation of the Learning Commons since we were freshmen?
Yeah, there was a lot of construction. We couldn't go in for a while. I didn't really know what it would look like or anything. Before it was all bookshelves and it was opened up a bit.
Did you ever check out a book?
Yeah, once in freshman year. And I tried to check it out, but he just said to take it, and then I just kept it.
So now it's more regulated?
Yeah, definitely. And now they have this. So.
What do you use the Learning Commons for?
Mostly just studying. It's a quiet study space, but a lot of friends get coffee there, which is nice. That's about it. I still don't really check out a lot of books, but that's just because I prefer to buy my books. But it's nice to know that they're there and better organized.
Thanks. So this is Julie Chamberlain. She's a senior and a student council member. So what do you usually do as a student council member in the Learning Commons?
During study hall, I sit at the desk and I sell coffee and snacks to some of the students here. And a lot of the money that they give us, it goes to a lot of school organizations like Student Council, and it gives us a chance to do things for the school. So right now we're funding a new water fountain in the math hallway. So that's good.
Yeah. So you think that the Learning Commons now it gives a lot more to the school?
Yes, definitely.
Hi, I'm Miss Mayo, and I am the school librarian here at VHS.
How long have you been the school librarian here?
Well, this is now my 3rd year.
Okay. So what improvements have you made on the LC since you started working at VHS?
Wow. So my first year that we were here, we actually weeded out over 1,000 books. The collection hadn't been updated in a really long time. So we had a selection process. We went through the stacks and decided which book we wanted to keep and which book we wanted to get rid of. And then some of the books that we got rid of ultimately were donated to other libraries that needed them. So that was the first part. And then the updating was twofold. So we had to update the facility itself. Eventually we worked with a company and got a grant in order to update all the furniture. So that's the new furniture that you see at the LC. We updated all the shelving, right, to be a little bit more modern. And then the other part of the updating was actually coming up with a library program. When I first came here, there was no catalog, there was no access to databases, and there was practically no budget. So through just research and reaching out to companies, we started coming up with a collection of online materials for students, as well as a catalog system where students can check out and check out books. So
Like, what are you most proudest of all of that?
Out of everything, I think it was just changing the culture, right? Because you can change like an actual room. You could buy furniture, but that means absolutely nothing. So when I first came to VHS, the library really wasn't seen as a place for academic engagement. It was sort of like a hangout room, which is great, but it's not really what the purpose of a library is supposed to be. So I think what makes me most proud about what we've done in the library is just that we created a space for students with them in mind. So everything from the facilities itself, the availability for group space. I have books and collections and programs that were inspired by things that students asked for. Also, I have a lot of students who come into the library just because it's like a safe space for them. And it's a place for them to get work done and also to hang out with their friends, but do so in a way that's respectful. So I think that's what really makes me proud about the space.
And do you have any like future plans to improve it further?
Yes, so we actually had a makerspace, which is right now being sort of renovated. At first, it was really a place for like tinkering, but now that I noticed that there was a group of students who really enjoy like sound and video editing, so we actually purchased a bunch of materials for students to edit video, to edit sound. We have Macs that are going to become available so that students can then use this software to edit their own projects. And what's really cool about it is a lot of times students may not have access to these tools at home or unless they take a class through VHS, but this is a student studio. So I mean, I've had students that came up to me and said, you know, I'm really interested in sewing, and I'm open to the option of having a sewing machine in the makerspace. So right now, again, it's under construction, but I'm really excited to reopen the makerspace with all these new tools in them. So,
can you give us a secret or like something that students don't know about the LC?
well, we actually do have, because it's a student-centered space, we actually do have a reservation system that a lot of our students don't really use. So if students, for example, wanted to reserve a space for study groups, or if students wanted to reserve a space for club activities or speakers, they can actually come up to me and I can reserve the space for them. So for example, Ms. Sepsi's AP World class actually reserved the space during lunch in order to hold a study session that was led by sophomores who had already taken the test. So it was a really cool opportunity for students to share knowledge that helped them during the AP test to students who were taking the AP course. So things like that. I have students that come in after school and do tutoring. I have students, I have a whole group of volunteers, I call them counter kids because they stand behind the counter. So I do offer opportunities for students to do volunteer work at the library. So, you know, things like that. Just making it so that students have like a specific space in the library. So that's available to them. And a lot of students don't know that, so that's kind of cool.
Well, now you know. As you can see, there's even more change to come for the Learning Commons. So look out ahead for new changes.